Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. It's Monday night. My name is Phil. We're live every Monday at 7:30. We can talk about whatever you want. There is loads and loads and loads of Leicester City stuff to talk about. First of all, happy birthday to the boss. Great to see a statue being unveiled today. There's that 1-1 draw yesterday against Man United. Good result. VAR, do you want to talk about it? You probably do. And then there's PSV to look forward to on Thursday. Yep, a quarter-final European match on Thursday. Get your views in, get your comments in. Let us know what you think to Leicester City.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. It is Monday night. It's 7:30. Follow us wherever you're watching at Leicester Fan TV. Get your views in. Get your comments in. We can always chat about what you want to chat about. Matty Bond, good evening to you. Thanks for your comments. Keep getting them in. Let us know what you think. Ross says we was definitely robbed, and I thought we was banned on Facebook. Ross, I don't know what you did in the watch-along, but you nearly did get us banned. I've got round it. Andy, good evening to you. Hope you're well. What did you think to yesterday's game? 1-1 yesterday, Andy. And what do you think about the boss? Let's have some memories about the boss. Today, it's his birthday, obviously. We all remember him. Great statue unveiled today. Finally, it's there. We can all see it on Thursday, and every match we go there. Get your views in and get your memories on the boss and what he means to us as a club. TJ, good evening. Watching on Facebook. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube tonight. Auntie Karen, good evening, says we were robbed. I think we were as well. Lusand is watching and says Leicester City for life. Get your views in, Lusand. What did you think to yesterday's match in there? If you want to come on camera, I can share the link out there. But we want to talk about the big talking point, which is the boss. What did he mean to you? 1-1 yesterday. Were we robbed? And do you want to talk about VAR? It's just, for me, I'm getting very bored with VAR. It is here to stay. We're not going to get rid of it. The authorities want VAR to be there. I'm starting to get the feeling, I don't know about you guys, I'm starting to get the feeling that VAR does tend to suit the more elite sides. Who makes the decisions whether McTominay's red card is VAR checked or not? They made the decision. No, we don't need to look at that. And yet, for our goal, it was like, oh yeah, we'll have a look at that. And for me, Iheanacho was being slightly pushed back, which meant he went back, which meant his foot went forward. I think if you look at most goals, you will see that you could find an error with most goals. I really do in there. And I'm fed up with VAR in there. So get your views in. Let me know what you think to it. Ian says it was a great point against 12 men yesterday. I agree with you there. It felt like it. Andy says it was daylight robbery. Jamie Trigger Toff says, great to see the statue. Finally being revealed today. Lovely. Looking forward to seeing that against PSV on Thursday. Obviously, we've got that match to look forward to. Right. Yes, I do mean Saturday, not yesterday. I've lost track of the days. You are quite right. It was Saturday, 5:30. Sorry about that, Rye. Thanks for being in the stato on that. Christopher Newbury says, should have put away the countless chances and not been so sloppy in the final third. Would have taken it out of question in the hands of the VAR ref. Yes, Chris, again, do you want to talk a little bit about the goal we gave away? It was a shame. It took us all that time and effort to get a goal. And then Marty passed, not the nicest ball back to Casper, did that little dink. Messing around with it at the back again. Should we say that or not? What do you think to that? TJ says, yes, we were robbed, but a great performance nevertheless. I'm not going to get too carried away, TJ, because if I'm honest, that's got to be one of the most bang average Man United sides you've ever seen out there, and play with no striker at Old Trafford. If I was a Man U fan, I think I'd be just like fuming. I really would. Will Robinson says, whilst we could be annoyed at the disallowed goal, it was a foul for me. I do see what you're saying. There was but wasn't Iheanacho sort of pushed first? There was a hand on Iheanacho's chest to push him back, Will. Is that not the start of the foul? And then Will talks about McTominay should have been sent off. It looked a pretty clear red in real time. When you saw it on the replays, it really looked red. But don't forget, VAR decided we don't need to relook at that. We're happy. Not a clear and obvious error. Was Iheanacho's push trip? Wasn't even a trip. It was a bit of a hook. Jeffrey says, was a joke of a game. The whole system is a shambles. Jeffrey, I'm going to agree with you on that. And I want to know what your views are on this. I'll tell you why the game is starting to favour the bigger teams. VAR, you just get that feeling. I get that feeling VAR looks for stuff for the bigger teams. You can't really prove it, and perhaps the statistics will show it evens out. But Jeffrey, which is why I agree with you on this, 5 subs next year. Who says we need 5 subs next year? That only really favours the big teams who've got a bigger squad depth. That really does favour the bigger teams. If you're Man City and for whatever reason, Newcastle United next year, when they bought a whole squad full of super expensive players and they've got 2 teams that are better than most teams' first team, it's only going to make them better. So that 5 sub rule doesn't benefit us at all. Does not. And I know when we're playing in Europe, if we play in Europe next year, it'll help a bit of squad rotation. But 5 subs, that benefits the big teams. And then, Jeffrey, the next point why I think the system is starting to turn into a shambles, the Champions League rules have changed for next season just slightly, and you may not have noticed it because they're trying to sneak it in without you noticing. They're trying to get it in there. No, nobody noticed. They've given now 2 Champions League places. 2 of all the Champions League sides are going to be what they call, and I hate doing inverted commas, but I'm going to do them, historic clubs. And those historic clubs are going to get in whether they finish in the top 4. Like in the Premier League next season, a team like Arsenal or Man United could finish 5th or 6th and make the Champions League because they would be classed as a historic club with a high coefficient in Europe over the past however many years it makes to fudge the numbers. It's a fudge. It's a total fudge. You've got me going on one there. So sorry, Jeffrey, if I've gone off on one. But honestly, the system is starting to change to favour the bigger clubs. And VAR is part of that. It's not going to change. Doesn't matter if I moan. I can wear my 1990s shirt, 1980s, and live in the past. But that is what is going on there. Jack says, check out the video of Vichai's statue on all the socials. Thanks, Jack, for everything. And do check out TikTok, which Jack does loads of stuff on there. Andy says, I'm curious as to what the ref would have done if Maddison shot wide. Would he have still given a foul? No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't have. No, and if you watch it back, Andy, very, very few of those players actually even appealed for anything. I think the guy on the floor was a bit light, but that was it, really. Matt says here, if the roles were reversed, it would have been a red and a goal. I'm telling you, Matt, it just feels slightly... VAR is spoiling the game for me, big start. As a fan at the game, you tell me, when we score, you initially go, yes. You do leap up. You're still with that moment of excitement is there. But almost instantly, you're looking at the linesman, you're waiting. It does take something away from the game. VAR, it should be there to help encourage more goals, but it doesn't. It just rules more goals out. TJ says 3 subs plus a concussion sub is enough for any team. Spot on. Concussion, yes. That should be brought in, clearly. You're right, TJ, but 3 subs, we don't need 5. It's to benefit the bigger sides with the stronger squads. That's what it is. I thought we played really well, says Raymond. As far as the VAR situation, I think if that happened at the other end, it would have been a goal all right. I agree, Raymond, because they wouldn't have looked. They'd have just carried on. They'd have watched Evans do a little moan, and they'd have just gone, nah, get on with it. And to be fair, if it had happened at the other end and they hadn't VAR checked it, I don't think any of us would have been stood here particularly moaning. I really don't. Michael says, why don't you have one of our traditional white shirts hanging up instead of our enemy's awful red colour? It's got Jamie Vardy's name on the back, mate. Come on. I happen to quite like the red away kits. They're better than the mint one. Where the hell did mint come from? We're not mint or burgundy. Look back at the club's history. We don't wear mint kit or burgundy kit. Don't get me going on that. Red kit, yes, we've worn loads of red kits over the past 40 years. Anyway, so Michael, that's why I'll have a red kit hanging up, although I do have some rather nice white ones as well. Andy says, it's not right that they look at it in slow motion. I agree. And you know, when they've now pretty much come out, the refs, Mike Dean said on Saturday, Andy, that over when VAR calls a ref to come and look at it on the screen, that now effectively is them telling the ref, if we ask you to come and look at it on the screen, you've made a mistake, you're going to change your mind. Because they showed him that, they only showed him that one angle in slow motion where you go, yeah, that looks a bit like it's hooked. And you go, well, watch it in real time. And you'll go, they didn't show, as far as I could see, they didn't show the ref on the VAR replay on the side of the screen. They didn't show Iheanacho being pushed back. So somebody's made that decision. That's not part of the same motion as somebody going like, if I'm pushed back, what on one leg? Look, you can't see, but this leg's going out there. So annoying. Ross, if you've not watched the watch along, we should just clip the bit. I think, in fact, it is on TikTok. Jack's put it on TikTok. Ross was doing the watch along, and he went absolutely mental when we scored. And there's a moment where he realises it's been ruled out. If you're not, go. I'm sure most of you are on TikTok. Go and watch at Leicester Fan TV and watch the moment Ross celebrates the goal and then realises it's been ruled out. It's well worth the watch, honestly, in there. Dorco says here, fouls should be the ref's responsibility only. VAR should only be used for offsides and fouls. Dorco and anybody else watching, do you actually know when VAR should be used or not? Does anybody know? Because I haven't got the foggiest now. And phases of play, was Iheanacho's bit the first phase, the second phase? I don't think Brendan Rodgers knows. I don't think managers know. I don't think TV pundits know anymore. And I think it was probably clearer when we didn't have VAR. I really do. We could always, when there was no VAR, we could say the ref's missed that, he's missed that. But you just sort of blame the ref and get on with it. Now you think we watched 12 camera angles and we're still arguing the toss over it. So what's it solved? Gary, yes, it was no, I'm not going to go great performance, Gary, because I don't think Man United were that good, but it was a decent performance by Leicester. And to be fair, Gary, old school me, I would quite happily take a 1-1 draw at Man United every season because that's a good result for me. Ross saying he lost 180 quid on that disallowed goal. Ross, more important than that, we missed out on 2 points. What would you rather have, Ross? 180 quid or 2 points? Well, you could have had both, so you don't need to answer that. Dave, I agree, would have taken the draw at the start of the game. Now, listen, we've not had many comments in tonight on the boss. I want to know, did you ever meet him? If you did, what did you say to him? Or did you just do what most fans did? Have a little word, put your arm around his shoulder and get a selfie? That's what most fans did. I only met him, I think I met him twice. One of them, he's that quiet. I was just wandering around the club shop and he was just there and he just sort of did a little, all right, you know. But he didn't say, all right, my duck. He wasn't that integrated into, but he just gave us a smile. That would have been good if he did say, all right, my duck. But I met him another time outside the ground as well, very briefly, but he never said anything. But he was just always had that big smile on his face. And to be fair, I think we all know what he did for Leicester. So it is fitting and right that there is that fantastic statue outside the ground now for him. It's going to be there forever. It's going to outlive me, you, whatever. That's going to be there in 100 years, hopefully, isn't it? Longer. You'll be able to tell your kids, your grandkids, their kids, great-grandkids, whatever. They'll all be there and it will help keep his memory alive and what he has done for our club and is continuing to do. Because PSV on Thursday, this could be one of the seasons of our life. If we get to a European Cup final for the first time, it could happen. This could be one of our best ever seasons ever, which is why you've got to be careful. Those of you, there's still a few Rodgers out peoples. I still hear a few rumblings. This could be one of our best seasons in our club's history ever. We've had the Premier League win, a few League Cup wins. We've had the FA Cup win, European Cup final, European Cup win. Okay, it's the Conference League. I'd take that any day of the year. If that was Ben, listen, I want to talk about the boss a little bit, and you lot want to talk about yesterday's match, which is fine. Ben says if that's classed as a foul, then the ref should be giving 80 fouls a game. They see them kind of challenges happen all the time. Do you know what, Ben? I know you're younger than me, mate. I put this shirt on partly because just out of the blue on my Facebook feed yesterday was the playoff semi-final at Filbert Street on Leicester City's Facebook page. I can't even remember the year. I'm going to guess it was about 94 when we wore this shirt. Tommy Wright was actually like amazing. And we beat Cambridge United 5-0. I was there, great game, but absolutely watching that game going, well, if we had VAR now, that'd be a foul, that'd be this, that'd be... it bores the pants off me. And it is spoiling football. If I'm honest, VAR spoils football for me now. Carlos said, I've taken a point at Old Trafford, never met the gaff, but would have loved to. Yes, indeed, Carlos. Matt saying, why does the ref watch the replay in front of the home fans? Surely that will have an effect on the decision. I agree. Well, like I say, I've been told, Mike Dean said on his interview on 5 Live on Saturday, Mike Dean said it. He said, if the ref goes over, that's because VAR are telling him in his ear, you've got it wrong, you need to watch it. He watches it. That's why he will always change whatever the decision was. If he goes to the side of the pitch, it's going to get changed. Gary says you can only play the team in front of you. It was still Man United. I agree with that. Fitch Eyes put the Leicester as a club on the map, says Andy. And Andy goes on to say, he met him once in the ground and he just said hello. I was a bit nervous. I agree. You don't know what to say to the guy. But TJ says it's a fantastic statue. Great to see so many players and ex-managers down there today. There was Shaky, Pearson, Ranieri. Christian Fuchs apparently had flown in for it. He was there. Matty James was there. Some great players. Danny Simpson was there. And obviously Vardy, Casper. Gary says, I was Rodgers out, but I'll admit I was wrong. Gary, you're allowed to have your opinion. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just think if we beat PSV, which is not an easy one, if we get to a European final, would be immense for Leicester City. Great attendance for Thursday. Hope for a good atmosphere. Jeffrey, yeah, I agree. Fans, you, me, we've all got to get there. We've all got to make a massive noise. I've got to be fair. I'm a bit fingers crossed at the moment because I think I said on Saturday, I've tested positive for COVID. And I am like that. I'm doing a test like every 10 minutes to try and get, well, I'm not really, but like I'm doing it once a day because I need to be clear. Can't miss the PSV game on Thursday. Ross says, thank God there's no VAR in Europe conference on this. You watch now, Ross. Now, you said it, Ross. You put the absolute mockers on it there. There'll be a massive decision on where we'll go, I wish we had VAR. That would have ruled that in or out. Councillor, good evening, sir, says, Man United are a poor team, very optimistic for a string finish to the season. A strong finish, stringy finish. Yes, Stephen was there. Tommy Wright. Ooh, Tommy Wright. Ooh, Tommy Wright. Gary says, Vichai, what a legend. Remembered by us all. Imtiaz, good evening. How are you? You looking forward to PSV? Ross says, can't wait to see the statue on Thursday. I'm so glad the statue actually looks the double of him in there. And the councillor says, great deserved statue for our eternal chairman. Great respect for the club, for the turnout. Ross says, you've got enough tests. They're about 30 quid a pack now. No, I've not. You've got to use them sparingly. Well, they say you can just go out and do what you like, but hey, I'm trying to do the right thing. I don't want to take COVID down to the king power and give it to you lot. That wouldn't be fair, would it? Listen, Reedy has clicked on the link. Are you ready to come in, Reedy? Let's add him in. Good evening, Mr. Reed. How are you?
How are you? Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Reedy, lots to talk about. VAR, let's start with that. I'm sick of debating it. I'm just sick of it, but it's not going to go anywhere. It is going to be here to stay.
Yeah, it's a hard one because when I was at the match, obviously I was there on Saturday, and when I first saw the Maddison one, I thought there's nothing wrong with it. From what I saw, the player went down trying to block the ball. What could Kel do? He had to go through him one way or the other, got the ball to Maddison and did it. But looking back at the decision about 10,000 times, it's a light foul, but I think it is a foul, and I think they've got to give it. And
do you not think Nacho gets pushed backwards though to start with as part of the movement? I said this with Sam. I said it to Sam. Remember the Brighton game away, Vestergaard getting pulled down? They didn't look at that. They just looked at the handball. They only look at the advantage to us scoring. If it was a foul going the other way, I'm not saying for them, but if it wasn't a goal, they'd look at all areas. But because it was just for a goal, they've got to see what was the issue about them being able to score. And it was the foul. They wouldn't look at someone doing something to us because there's no need to. It's just looking at the foul going on to us. So, but the red card for me is definitely a red card. Keith says, no Tom English at the unveiling today. Invite lost in the post. Reedy, that will go straight over your head, mate.
Yeah.
Worst ever striker to play for Leicester, Tommy English. Remember the name. You're lucky you never saw him. Mick Bell, good evening, Mick. Hope you're well. Says, a brilliant statue going home and away to PSV. Michael, watching all the way from Seattle out in the States. Hope you're well, Michael. Are you around, Michael, for the watch-along this week? Be great to get you on. Anyway, he says, it's not a foul. There's barely any contact. And Varney flops.
It's a light foul for me. But, I heard you on Radio Leicester, and they were saying that it's hard to give it. When it's in slow motion, it looks a lot worse than it is. If it was in fair play, like you said, the ref gave it in normal play. And the issue with me was it took the celebration for Varane to get back up for them then to we need to look at VAR.
I mean, Reedy,
you have to do it straight away.
Reedy, you were at the match. I was sadly at home watching it on TV. But when I was watching it on TV, I didn't think for any minute at all there was anything to review there. Did you at the match? Or did you spot it and go, hang on?
The littlest bit when the player went down and Kelechi had to try and stumble over them. But that was because I thought, well, we couldn't do anything else because the guy was on the floor. But I didn't see the actual incident that people were saying about him like hooking his leg down, which, again, in normal time, the ref didn't see anything wrong with it. It's just when you slow the video down, you think, okay, that's why they've gave it. And
yeah, but
understood.
Ben says minimal contact, but just clever play. It's annoying. Michael is in for the PSV watch along, so join Michael this Thursday. Kickoffs, I think 8 o'clock, isn't it? So we'll be live from about 7 o'clock. Michael hosting it. He's always a good watch, Michael is. Stephen says, in real time, it wasn't a foul and wasn't clear and obvious.
I probably agree with that.
Yeah.
In real time, it wasn't. But again, the moment the ref goes to the VAR to see it in slow-mo, that's where you see the issue.
Oh, he's shown it again on Match of the Day 2, Reedy. I don't know if you've watched the bits where the ref is shown like a curated clip, which is like, here's the clip you need to watch. And you sort of go, well, yeah, if I just watch that one clip, that one little bit in slow-mo, just that little bit, it does look like it was a foul. But you go, shouldn't the ref be allowed to see a bit more of it? And again, in real time. And again, the push on Nacho.
And like I say, it's exactly like the Brighton away game when Vestergaard fully got pulled down as his arm was up.
Yeah,
so
like
what would you do?
Tripe and Onion says there, his legs were splitting. Anyway, Daniel Fox saying, Man United a poor side. We gave them too much respect in the first half. I do, and he goes on to say we could have won that game. I want to talk about Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. What a tackle. And then I'm going to add that in Maddison. I think Maddison is coming really. Maddison furiates me at times because he certainly can in a season he can drop off the boil. But I think recently he's very much coming up to the boil and perfect timing for England squads in the summer. But I thought Maddison had a very good game as well. But Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, what a tackle! I love to see that. And to be fair, Yuri put in a good tackle just before it as well.
Yeah, and I think the main thing with me with Maddison is, for some weird reason, I don't know why, but the moment I see one pass from him, do you know, like when he makes some passes with the outside of his foot going like a curler, that's when it, for some reason, for me, it feels like, oh, he's really trying today, because normally he just makes them flainty passes and whatnot, but when he makes them like curling, trying to make an angle pass, you think, okay, like he's doing something. It sounds stupid, but them sort of passes, he knows when he's on form. So. And then Dewsbury Hall, again, he's that one player you need to be in that team every single game, because he just puts that one tackle at every game. You just think, wow. You think that's good. That changes how our midfield has been when the likes of Maddison, Yuri Tillemans and somebody else was in when he wasn't in.
Yeah, that ball you're talking about, Maddison does with the outside of his boot. I'll take you out on the field and I'll teach you that one, Reedy. Ian says, hi guys. Oh, hi Ian, it's been a long time. Anyway, he says Darlington won 1-0 on Saturday. We're up to 8th place now there, goal difference away. Yeah, Ian used to come on quite a lot, so it's good to hear from you, Ian. Hope you're well. Getting his Darlington in there. He was a bit of a secret Leicester fan as well, I think. But Reedy, we haven't got long left, and obviously we've got shows on Wednesday and a watch along and your show on Friday. But PSV, I can't wait for it. I genuinely, like I said, I'm going to take a test every day. Hope to God that I'm clear, else I won't be going. But can't wait. What an atmosphere it's going to be at the King Power. It has to be.
Yeah, exactly. I said that in the TikTok live we did earlier that this is probably the most important game, let alone the Man U game where we should have won. This game now is the one that we need to get at least a 2 or 3 goal difference to go into the away leg, because these are going to be a lot harder than Rennes, and they were a tough team as well. So we can't let these sleep on it.
They let goals in, Reedy. They drew there against Copenhagen. They were 4-4 at home in the PSV 4, Copenhagen 4, and then you think, they go away to Copenhagen, where I remember going there a few years ago in the Champions League. Copenhagen, a more than decent side, normally in, like I say, the Champions League most seasons. So a decent result for them there. But we definitely need to take, I mean, away goals don't matter. So it doesn't matter if we let a goal in, but we do need to go with a lead of sorts, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. And if we're talking about the lineups, and well, it's a hard one, because Brendan put quite a strong team out against United. You wouldn't have thought so with this game coming up. So will he go as strong in this game? I think he has to. But will players be fit? They should be, with the Saturday game going to a Thursday game anyway. So there shouldn't be any issue with injury wise.
No, that should be good. Lee is saying, I'm missing it, gutted on the way to Finland, seeing my brother. Well, hopefully, Lee, you'll have a good trip seeing your brother. Michael says, left-footed early cross from Madders shows the swag is back. Michael's always uses that word swag, but it couldn't be a better word to describe Maddison at times, could it? When Maddison has got the swagger, he is one of the best players in the league, and you can see why teams are interested in him for 50, 60, 70 million pounds. Other days, he seems to fall out of love with the game almost and look a bit well off the boil, but he looks full of swagger.
And that's what I mean, and that's that pass. I don't know why. It just goes to me. The moment he tries to make them passes out wide with them weird curling balls, it just feels like he's fully trying to make these passes work. And normally when he's not on form, he just doesn't really do anything like that to create anything.
Like I say, I'll teach you that one. And Andy says, Phil, can you still do keepy up his whilst on a skateboard? Of course I can, Andy. I'll do it now. I'll go get I'll get the skateboard for next Monday, Andy. Tune in. Ian says, Kieran Dewsbury Hall could go to the top. He's a baller. I agree with you on that. Shout out to Nacho. Yes, says the council. His goals and assist ratio is brilliant for us. I do think, there was a bit of criticism of Nacho missing that little chip, but I tell you what, in that second half, I thought he had to have a go at that chip. De Gea's probably going to save something on the floor. He didn't quite get it right, but I thought Nacho again. I'm a big fan of Nacho, Reedy.
It was the first half for me. I can't lie. I was very, I wouldn't say disagreeing, but I was very, what's the word? I was going at him a lot on the first half, because there was so many chances. Like the first chance where he tried to curl it. Yes, he tried to position it. But we need to at least put that on target. And then the second one, I think he had a run straight through the middle. And as a striker, your first aim is shoot that, and it went wide and it missed the pass. So, and then obviously I even said it in the first half before half time. I went, do you know what? He's having an average game, but you know he's going to get the goal. And he did.
Yes, I think you're critical of Nacho at times, really. But I think is Vardy going to play against PSV or not?
I think he'll be. I'm guessing he'll be fit for the Crystal Palace game. I don't think he'll be fit enough for the thingy game. But that, like you say, is it worth the risk of even putting him in the Crystal Palace game? Maybe it's worth taking him out and keeping him in for the next PSV game. Yes,
it might be better to have Vardy for the away leg as a bit of a release. Who would you start then if Vardy's not fit for PSV, Nacho or Daka?
Well, it's a hard one because I'm more of a Daka fan than I am Kelechi fan, so it's hard. But Kelechi wise, he's been a bit more confident, hasn't he? And every goal he gets, he's more confident. Like you say, he's a confidence player. So for me, it probably has to be Kel. But on the plus side, Daka needs to be coming on a lot earlier than an 89th minute appearance against United, going for the last minute goal. So Daka come on in from the 60th minute could be a perfect sub.
Keith's saying he'd rather have Daka in on Thursday. I would totally disagree. My jury's well out on Daka at the moment. Well out. There's a reason he comes on at the 90th minute. It's because he's not going to score, really, if you ask me. But I don't want to get into Daka bashing. TJ saying he thinks Daka will play Thursday. I'm definitely with Michael. Got to start Nacho 100%. The guy holds the ball up. He looks a quality player. You know what you're going to get with him. I'm not out of all the strikers. I'd have Jamie Vardy start, but if not, I'd have Nacho. So it's going to be an interesting one. Just before we let you go, then a quick score prediction.
Oh, for me.
Yeah, you.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh God. Thing is, it's got to be a big scoreline, because if we don't, it's going to be so tough away. I don't think we're going to keep a clean sheet. I'd be absolutely love to have a clean sheet, but I think it's going to be a 2-1. It's going to be so tough away.
Brilliant. Thanks, Reedy. I'm going to let you go.
Nice.
Thanks a lot for joining us, Reedy. Jono, do you want to have a quick word? He's come in. Let's add him in. Just briefly at the end, Jono. We've not got long left. What do you want to get off your chest?
Well, happy birthday to the big man, the boss. Brilliant statue. I watched some of the old videos where, the Cardiff game and stuff like that, and brilliant memories, a bit tearful, but, he brought us the memories, and hopefully in this European competition, we can bring him, bring honour to him and win a trophy. Manchester United game. I watched the video, actually, Phil, on the referee, the Ref Watch on Sky Sports, and he said that it was subject. He said they did actually view it, and they said there was no obvious error for it to be overturned. But he said all of them said it was an obvious red card because he had a massive touch. He went to go for the ball again, in doing so, made a dangerous attempt. And they said if Maddison's foot was in the ground, it would have been a few years out for injury. That's how. If that's the case, then you shouldn't be going to a tackle knowing that if my foot was in a different position, it was a red card. So I think we should have won the United game 2-1. And my score prediction on Thursday, 3-1 Leicester.
Jono, are you around to do the watch along this Thursday? Do we know that yet? Have we got
8? So I could do it. Yes.
You'll be coming in to join some of it at least. Then
I'll come in
Michael
as a start. So literally, it'd be like, "Hello, I'm here."
Superb. Well, hopefully join Jono, join Michael, and whoever is going to host it. We just always need to work these things out. Thanks, Jono, for joining us. Sorry it was short and sweet.
That's all right. Cheers, mate.
Brilliant. And Jono, by the way, if you've not seen you and Ross on TikTok,
I've seen it.
Have you seen it?
Like a few moments later, and then we're like,
I just want to plug it again. If you've not watched it, go on to Leicester Fan TV TikTok and watch Ross and Jono giving it a massive cheer when Maddison scores, and then 30 seconds later, not a massive cheer. Jono, I'm going to let you go.
Cheers, man.
See you soon. Listen, thanks everybody for all your views, all your comments. Let's get a few of those score predictions in. Jeffrey says 3-0. Keith goes 3-1 to Leicester with a Daka hat-trick. Don't think so, Keith. I'd love you to be right. Mick Bell, all right, Mick, see you down there, says 3-1. TJ says if Nacho was going to play, it'd have been subbed off earlier against Man United. That's interesting, TJ. You could be right. Who says 3-1 to Leicester on there. Absolutely. Thanks for all your views, all your comments in there. If you can do us a favour, please like, share and subscribe to Leicester Fan TV wherever you're watching. Jack will be live on Wednesday night, so make sure you join Jack on Wednesday at 7:30 for a big preview of the PSV match. Come and find us down at the ground. We'll be outside the Blues Bar. Big shout out to Merv and the guys down there. It's a shame that all that has kicked off down there at the Blues Bar. Not sure they're going to be running it, but fingers crossed. Good luck to them, whatever happens. We'll see you down there before the game. Don't forget, I've got to say this as well. I know I keep forgetting. You can win a signed Jamie Vardy shirt. That is on leicesterfantv.com, the website. So if you would like to win that, thanks to our guys at Pink who are supporting Loros. If you want to go and win that, go to leicesterfantv.com. We've got about 2 more weeks before we draw that. I think it's on Monday the 18th. Yes, Monday the 18th. 2 weeks tonight, we'll draw that. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks for all your views, comments. I'll see you on Thursday. Fingers crossed. See you later.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.